There are three things that I see almost all Facebook advertisers completely mess up, which is keeping them from success using Facebook ads. And no, I'm not going to talk about any of the obvious stuff that everybody else is already talking about, because in this short video, I'm going to talk about the three things that are being completely ignored, but will make all your interest-based Facebook ad campaigns a lot more profitable without any extra effort. Now, in case we haven't met before, my name is Wilco, and I've been a full-time online entrepreneur for over 12 years now. And during that time, I've helped tens of thousands of people to grow their business using online marketing, which is why my tools and businesses have been mentioned on major sites such as Mashable, The Next Web, and many others, and are now being used by thousands of people every single day. And over the last 6 years or so, I've been focusing a lot of time and energy on Facebook marketing. And one of the things that you might have noticed recently as well is that a lot of Facebook advertisers or people who talk about Facebook ads, they're all talking about their successes they have using their lookalike audience or using their retargeting audience. And if you're not familiar with any of those terms, don't worry. I mean, that's not what we're going to talk about in this video, because those kind of Facebook campaigns, I mean, the only way that will work is if you will have either existing traffic or an existing list of customers to begin with, which, let's be honest, not everyone has yet. So fortunately, you can also target your Facebook ads based on interest. You probably know that, right? So you can show your ads to everyone who is, for example, interested in Coca-Cola, just as a random example. Now, the problem is that many advertisers are having issues making this profitable, which, to be honest, doesn't really surprise me at all, because a while ago I actually started ramping up my interest-based campaigns, and I quickly learned that there are three mistakes that you're pretty much automatically making without even realizing it, I think. I mean, it was only after I fixed those three mistakes that I was able to turn my campaigns around and make a good profits on those interest-based campaigns, even in the most competitive markets out, the highly competitive markets out there. So let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's just get started. So the first mistake I see people make is that they're going after the same audiences. That's what I see a lot of people, they're all going after the same audience. I mean, Facebook makes it so easy to find interest to target when you're setting up your Facebook campaign, which means that most advertisers will use those interests right away, just like all your competitors are doing as well. And of course, some Facebook marketers, they're smart, and they're using the Facebook Audience Insight tool to find more interest, but rest assured that your competitors are doing that as well. And the result is that everybody else is going after the same audiences, while it's way easier to get a good ROI when you're targeting interests that your competitors do not know about yet. And yes, these interests are out there, I promise you that, but more about that in just a minute. Now, the second mistake I see people make is that people try to target everyone inside of those interests. In other words, you're trusting Facebook that if you select a certain interest or a group of interests, that every person inside that group is actually interested in what you have to offer. And in my experience, this is costing you money, and it's much more lucrative to only target the inner circle group of people inside of those interests that are actually interested in what you have to offer. Now, I'll talk more about that in a minute as well. Thirdly, most Facebook advertisers don't measure what works, which could easily be the most expensive mistake that you're currently making. I mean, you're probably thinking that if you're targeting multiple interests at the same time, the only way of knowing which interest performs better than the other is to duplicate your the ad set a gazillion times and target each ad set to a different interest. Well, you're wrong, unfortunately, because setting up and managing such a split test with all these many interests doesn't just take up a lot of time and energy, it's also a very costly thing.